people are fat phobic on this platform, you should be uncomfortable. You should be uncomfortable.
Hello and welcome back. Oh my God, you're back. I'm glad you're here and I'm happy to see you. If this is your first time, you can call me Pooch Pooch. I just basically like to talk about things on the internet. Speaking of things on the internet, today's topic is someone that we might not know or we might. So there's a 50-50 chance that you've heard about this person. If you haven't, that's fine. This person is an upcoming, I want to say, fat acceptance activist. She created a song about plus size and all that. And I heard it in passing, but I was just like, okay. Like, I didn't have anything to say about it. I was just like, oh, okay, bye, kind of thing. Ever since she made that song, things have been going well for her. I know, like, she got invited to one of the basketball games or to a game to sing the national anthem, which is fine. I always like people to, to move up in life. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we are going to be looking at some of her TikToks and reacting to them because I have something to say about her. Her name is Samyra, and like I said, she is an upcoming fat activist. I don't know if that's what she wants to do, but I think that also ties into her brand. I have my phone. Let's go into the video. Also, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. It will really help the channel out. All right. So if you guys watched my last video, or maybe the next video that comes out, I don't know, it's all the same date that I'm filming this. I spoke about how people seek communities to escape. So it's like a form of escapism. And in my opinion, the fat acceptance community is just another form of escapism from their everyday lives, from the kind of problems that they go through, from the kind of things that they suffer. So that's my opinion there. That being said, let's head into the first video that we're going to talk about today.
So I'm big on fat shaming. Now, of course, this movement of fat acceptance is all across social media. And there is this woman who is, I guess, a fat representative. Her name is Samyra Miller. She's got 1.5 million followers, by the way. So there is, yeah, definitely a following for being openly fat. And
Candace, if you're going to try to degrade me, at least say my name correctly. Samyra. You know, I watched your whole 6-minute, 23-second violent discriminatory rampage toward me and other fat people.
Okay, I haven't watched Candace Owens' video, but I'm probably not gonna say it was violent. I feel like people always attach the term violent to things that they find uncomfortable or things that they don't like. So I'm just gonna put a pause on there on the violence because you cannot be violent with words. It's just a universal fact, okay? You can't be violent with words. You can insult someone, you can be mean to them, but you can't be violent with them. Words don't hurt you. Or at least they don't physically hurt you.
And all I have to say is, I feel sorry for you. But I mean, I feel sorry for anyone whose sense of self-worth is found in a relentless pursuit of proximity to whiteness.
Bro, I guess you can say Candace has done some things that you can classify as them being kissing up to the white man. I don't think that's the case. I think there's some issues that she brings up that is actually very true. And a lot of people don't want to look at it. A lot of people don't want to look into themselves and actually get down to what the issues are. But the whole word of like proximity to whiteness, this is just someone being racist to another skin tone. And you can say black people can be racist. That is BS. Everybody's racist. Everybody can be racist. Racism is not only for black people. Racism is not only for other people of color. White too is a person of color too. So I don't understand you can be racist to white people. Okay, so we're just gonna stop that there.
But Candace, this message is not for you. This message is for Congress. This message is for our federal lawmakers. Fat phobia is real. Discrimination based on weight is real. It should be illegal. It should be criminalized. And Candace Owens is just one example.
Okay, so she says discrimination based of weight is real. So I want to know what classifies what as discrimination on weight. Because she ends up going up to bring like a whole bunch of buzzwords, and that's what they usually do. They don't have any specific thing. So if someone is being discriminatory towards me, what exactly are they being discriminatory towards? So the whole discrimination based on weight, what classifies the discrimination? I think we need to be very exact with what we say, because anybody can just throw out the term discrimination and it's just like, well, yeah, discrimination this, discrimination that, but like, what are the classifications to those discriminations?
But fat phobia, it permeates every single structure of our society.
The buzzword again. People they just say buzzwords at this time just so they can, I guess, so they can feel intelligent. Not this creator directly, but just generally speaking.
Healthcare, education, entertainment, just to name a few. And it also lies at the intersection of other identities that are already federally protected from hate and bias.
Okay, how? How does it do that? With healthcare, we all know that healthcare in itself is bloodily expensive. But the more healthcare gets expensive, the more it takes out of our taxes. I know that I was reading this article where it said like healthcare for obese people takes more. The nurses and doctors that get injured every day just because they're caring for obese patients. I don't understand. Shouldn't that be the opposite? In education, what exactly is the discrimination for people that are of a bigger size? You know, I've never faced any discrimination for in my own education. Maybe I'm different, but what exactly is it?
So why aren't fat bodies protected? Well, it's because it will require you lawmakers to face your own fat phobia, to unlearn your own fat phobia. And I guarantee if any of you spent just even 1 minute to understand the racist, sexist, classist, ableist history of the BMI, of other fat politics, you would understand why fat people need protection.
So she talks about other identities being protected from other kinds of bias. My argument to this might be, yes, there are other, identities that are protected from discrimination. One thing I would say is that the reason why these identities are protected is because these are things that people can't change. If you have a disability, you can't change your disability. You can't just wake up and just change it into another cloth. People are born without being able to use your legs. People are born deaf, they're born blind, or whatever happens, they become deaf or blind later in their lives. So these are things that they can't change. Your skin color, you can't change the race that you are. You can't change your skin color. What else again? I guess probably your sexuality. I mean, bro, I hate sport cars. I love sport cars, but I hate when people do that. I guess in today's day and age now, you could just change your sexuality as of this moment. But the reason why these things are protected is because your contribution to society should not be based off of these things. Someone can be a good person at work, volunteering at their local community. They can be working, contributing to the economy. Their level of contribution should not be based off of their race, their disability, or their sexuality. So I guess you can say these are why these things are protected. You being fat, not really. Someone being fat is not something that they are, usually. And I know because I'm a fat person too. It's not just something, yes, it is part of my identity right now, but it is also something that I can change too. So I don't know. That's my argument. You can say whatever you want to say. Every time unlearning, you're unlearning fat phobia, you're unlearning this, like, that word has been so used that I am so tired of hearing that word. Buzzwords again. Racist, sexist, classist. It's like a war, They just drop all the bombs. They're like, like, go off. Okay, go off, queen. I guess my question is protection from what? Because it's very vague. What exactly do you need protection from? If someone can explain this to me, I would honestly be opening to understanding.
So if you truly care about human rights, about protecting people from hate and bias, then you would understand why fat phobia should be illegal.
What is you doing?
This is actually very concerning because these people just use the word fat phobia. That's just a general word. They say you not wanting to be fat is fat phobia. Doing exercises just so you're not fat is fat phobia. And then they also say other things too. That could be considered fat phobic according to their own definition. That is considered fat phobic. If they make that illegal, what's going to happen? This is why people like this, it's not even more of, oh, you know, just understand me the way I am, see me the way I am, or just accept me the way I am. It's more of understand me the way I am. Now I'm going to control you so that you can do what I want you to. You might say something out of, you know, general curiosity, or you might just say something out loud, and now you're in fear of going to jail. Why are you making fat phobia illegal? What is the basis of making fat phobia illegal? If you ask them these questions, they probably would not be able to answer, because questions like this require like thinking not only about yourself but about society, about individuals that probably don't even think like this on a daily basis. Next video.
Can I get a belt extender?
Where is located?
3A.
I'll bring it.
Okay, thank you.
It's the condescending tone for me. Like, you're saying that they're looking for belt extenders. Don't you feel ashamed about you standing looking for a belt extender that most of the people don't need? If they are looking for that belt extender so much, then they probably haven't used it in a long time. If they're taking so much time to look for the belt extender that you're asking for, then they probably haven't used the belt extender in a long time. Shouldn't that tell you something about yourself? Last summer, I went to Canada's Wonderland. I wanted to go on the roller coaster, and I couldn't fit on the roller coaster. And I'm telling you, that was the most embarrassing. I've had embarrassing moments, but me not being able to fit on the roller coaster, that was the most embarrassing thing I've ever gone through in my life. And that day, I decided that I would not be this way anymore. Imagine being the anomaly for in this kind of situation. Imagine that. You should be embarrassed yourself. You shouldn't be, you know, having this smug attitude. You should tell yourself, like, bro, if they have to look for this for like a while and just to looking for them, you probably has been the first person that's asked him about a belt extender in a month or so. That should tell you something, and you should be embarrassed, not them. Okay, this video just kind of ticked me off, I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So this is her reaction to a reaction of one of her videos. If you guys don't know the video, it was basically her going around, I think, the shopping mall, asking if they had plus sizes. And I think most of the stores, they had up to a double XL. That was the most that they had. After double XL, the only thing you could find was online. She definitely went ahead filming it, and I feel like it was done maliciously. But let's see what this guy has to say.
All the way to double XL. Okay, thank you.
I don't like how this video is painting all of these companies out to be bad and to villainize them for not having a product in their store that people are not buying. Now, I will say I'm glad that this creator was respectful to the employees that she was talking to. But the reason these companies are pulling these sizes from their stores or don't have them physically in store is not because the companies are fat phobic or because they have something against people who are overweight. It's because the need for these products is not big enough to warrant buying them in bulk and shipping them to their stores. And while America is getting bigger, the need for sizes above things like XXL represents a very, very small group of people. Their solution, rather than taking a loss, is saying, okay, well, they can order them online. But for some reason, that is not enough. Rather than getting on social media and villainizing companies while victimizing yourself, why don't we talk about the actual solutions to the problem you have encountered? Option 1, order your clothes online. Option 2, wait for Americans to get bigger, because we are, to the point where these companies won't lose money if they carry these sizes in store. Option 3, take a look in the mirror and see how you can develop healthier habits to get yourself out of this situation. None of these options here should include expecting a company to take a loss for you just because you don't like the solutions that were presented. Now look, I know everybody is on their own health journey and it doesn't happen overnight, but playing the victim only stops you from being able to take accountability for the actions that got you here in the first place.
I agree. If you know anything about business 101, if you know anything about businesses at all, you would know that a business's goal is not to answer to your every whim, is not basically to satisfy its customers. A business goal is just to sell to the customers. The customer service and stuff like that comes after. A business's goal is to make profit. I wouldn't have known this if I didn't, because I'm looking to start a clothing brand. If I didn't look into starting like clothing brand and how manufacturing works, you wouldn't know this things. When a business buys from a manufacturer, they're not buying 50,000. They're not buying 70,000. They're buying millions of quantities. So imagine a business buying, let's say, 5 million quantities, right? Because especially if businesses like this are all over the whole world, their order quantity from manufacturers are huge. Do the math with me. So let's say a business should buy 2 million worth of triple XL sizes. One item costs, let's say, $10 per item. Obviously, with businesses, they mark it up to about, let's say, $50. They sell it to you for $50. And after that, they put it in the stores, let's say all the stores around North America, and only 10,000 of those items sell. Do you know how much that business just lost for ordering those 2 million items? That is a huge loss for that company when it comes to those sizing of clothing. So yes, the other option is, if you want to buy it, you can buy it online where the manufacturer can probably ship it to you from where they are. Hello everyone, editing me here. Just wanted to also say that I used to work at Old Navy before, and I know Old Navy is one of the stores that kind of took the initiative to be having the same prices of like big larger items like 3x, I think going up to a 5 or a 6x in stores. And I think they also took the initiative to have everything being priced the same. They did take that initiative to do that, and like I said, I used to work at Old Navy before, and I used to see a lot of those items in store. But one thing that I want to say that I noticed from working there is that those items there were 3, 4, 5x's, they never used to sell, and so they would all be put down. We would end up marking it down to like such a really low price, and it would all be put in the sales section, in the clearance section. And after that, if it stayed for more than a month or more than 2 months, we would have to take that up, put it into shipping boxes, and send it back to like the fulfillment centers. So this is one way to tell you that yeah, those things don't actually sell, and I've seen it firsthand. Like, that's not how businesses work. If you knew how businesses work, you would know that this is not a viable option, and you would know that businesses that do this over and over again, they get tanked. They go through bankruptcy because they're buying and they're not selling. You cannot expect a company that doesn't really care about who you are, they don't even care about their own employees, that is making the money for them. You can't expect a company to care about you, just some random person, just a random bystander. They're not built that way. Businesses are not built to care about their consumers. Businesses are built to make profit and to make money for their investors. If you knew Business 101, you would know that every single thing that he's saying makes 100% sense. It's not their fault that you aren't the way you are. You could go on a calorie deficit, change the way you are, and move more, exercise more, have a healthy relationship with food, do things that make you live longer, better lives. But no, it's easier to blame someone else for your own bad decisions. Let's listen to one more video of her, and we'll probably just end the video there. Her creator's name is Sam at Every Size, and I've been watching her for a while now. I started watching her during the pandemic when she was talking about her own journey with fat acceptance, her own journey of how she started with the fat acceptance and had to leave because she was seeing that it wasn't good for her. Now Samyra reacted to Sam at every size, and so we're gonna see what she says.
Well, this last week, I stumbled across a very loud up-and-coming fat activist who is using her platform on TikTok to call out fashion brands that she has deemed as performative in their size inclusivity. Her name is Samyra, and she has a lot to say. Now, I have to admit, I do actually like the concept of her micro series because I do think it's a nice reminder to people that these fashion brands do make clothes like they're on Whose Line Is It Anyway. The sizes are made up and the fit doesn't matter. And in many of these videos, we see Samyra coming back from these stores that she's deemed fat phobic with clothes that are a size medium or large, which would be below the size that she's shouting that she wants them to make, and they fit her the same way that she regularly wears clothes on her channel. And after watching all of these TikToks on Samyra's channel, I am struggling to understand why she is so angry, right? It was a very angry introduction that I had to her, but it doesn't quite make sense.
So shouldn't that be an evidence of how the West is getting bigger if the medium fits her and the largest fit her too? Looking at her, I believe she's somewhere around the 3X because at least for pants or like skirts or anything like that. And I can just tell because of the amount of visceral fat that she does have. I do have visceral fat too, but I know that I'm able to fit into, I used to be a 3X and now I'm able to fit into like 2Xs. And even sometimes 1X stuff, like 1X pants for my top, like my t-shirts and all. I like them being free, so I usually go with the 3X. And sometimes the 2X, they fit me freer too. But I'm like more, I used to be a 3X before, but now I'm more of a 2X to an XL. Like I said earlier, this is no hate to anybody, but this is just my observation. I can tell she's around the 3X, at least for her skirts, maybe her pants, just because of the amount of visceral fat that she has on her body. That being said, I also don't like how she's quoting the things that Sam is saying, like loud, a lot to say, shouting. Like, she is shouting, she is being loud. Actually, the first TikTok that I saw about her was the one which was like, if you're something, I'll put it up here.
When people are fat phobic on this platform, you should be uncomfortable. You should be uncomfortable.
When she was saying this, I was like, what the hell is going on? I don't even know what the conversation is, but just because of how she approached it, I don't even want to listen to it. She approached it like she was teaching or she was reprimanding like school kids. Just because of that kind of like turned me off. And this was like even before I knew who she was. Like this was the very first video that I saw of her. Just randomly, I didn't know what was going on, but because of the way it was introduced, I was like, yeah, I don't want to listen to this person again. And not because of the things that she was saying, but it was her demeanor and how she was saying it. And so I do agree with Sam that she has this very angry introduction. She seems like she's loud and angry. And I know someone's probably gonna say, oh, Black women are always stereotyped as angry. I'm a Black woman, but you won't see me saying that. Like I don't feel like I come with that very angry persona. I don't even feel like I'm loud sometimes. But you would know if someone has that, you know, whether they're Black, white, Asian, whatever. I really don't care. But that's how it seems to me. And then that being said itself, it just kind of tunes my brain off because like anything this person is gonna say, all I'm just gonna be thinking of is when my parents were screaming at me because I didn't bring my homework back from school. Hell no. I mean, she definitely has a persona on social media, and I think she's going with the whole like Lizzo style because Lizzo is kind of like a body positivity, fat acceptance. But even Lizzo is losing weight now. So it's like these people that you're idolizing are leaving you behind, getting healthier. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you disagree with me too, let me know because I really like to have that conversation. Like the video if you do, and subscribe to the channel. That'll definitely help me a lot. And also leave a comment. Engagement helps you boost on YouTube since I'm starting this channel anew. I would love to have some engagement if you guys can. But yeah, follow me on my social media too, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.